When I started training in martial arts, um, I would say when I knew the least about it, learning fighting techniques filled me with a certain sense of personal empowerment. Like, oh, look, I can punch and kick really hard. I'm a dangerous man now.
Yeah.
And I told myself, oh, now that I understand violence, which I didn't, I respect violence, which I didn't. But I told myself these things. I don't think most people understand violence.
Yeah.
And I made a video about this on YouTube, and I think it was heavily misunderstood. It was a video mostly about my mother's experiences with post-traumatic stress syndrome growing up at the end of World War II.
Mm.
And it wasn't so much because of like the bomb raids over England. She's from England, and she experienced, Nazi planes dropping bombs on her hometown and all this, which I'm sure was traumatic. And when she hears a siren of any type, it still freaks her out to this day,
right?
All these years later. But I think the real effects of violence that I talked about in that video were after the war. What happened afterward? Like, really understanding violence is understanding the long-term ramifications of it.
Yeah.
So, like, one of my mother's big issues was with food, for example, because after World War II in England, there was post-war rationing where, food was rationed out to families. You got like a tiny little piddly amount of food for the whole family for a week, and people were hungry, just genuinely hungry. So growing up as a kid in America, I wasn't allowed to say I'm hungry. My mom would shut that down and be like, it would just trigger something in her, and she would get angry and say, you have no idea what that means. You are not hungry.
Yeah.
I mean, like, whoa, settle down,
Yeah.
But that right there, that was the part of the long-term ramifications of violence.
Yeah.
And even to this day, like I hear my own kids, they're like, Dad, I'm starving. Give me some food. And it triggers something in me. Like, I remember how serious my mom got, like just deadly serious. Like, you are not hungry. You don't know what that means. And like, scary, man. It scared the crap out of me when she said that. And I remember that when my kids say they're starving, I'm like, no, you're not. Let's go watch a documentary about the Holocaust now, so you understand what starving means. And they're like, what? Come on, can't we? It's just an expression, Dad. Why do we always have to learn history?